All right, it's that time again, time for the solo overnight in the woods. And today I'm thinking we debunk some myths about trapped heat in a shelter. Let's get to it. Right off the bat, I want to go ahead and talk about the title. It says invisible shelter. No, we're not Wonder Woman sitting out there and flying an invisible jet. What it refers to is a clear plastic tarp. Now, the reason why I went ahead and grabbed one of these is because it resembles a shower curtain and it's roughly a 10 by 10. And that's something I have not done in my videos in the past 15 years, is actually use clear plastic or a clear plastic tarp to construct a shelter. But to be really honest, my sole intent with a clear plastic shelter was to actually utilize the rays from the sun to actually heat it up like a greenhouse. Today we have overcast skies and a chance of rain, so most likely we're not going to use it in that way. However, why toss the video out? We'll just rework it into something else. Now, before we get too far down the trail, we have 100 Corporals Corner big boy skillets dropping to my website as we speak. Now, those that watch my channel, I mentioned last week that 2 weeks from that day, we're going to be discontinuing this model to make room for something else. So that means 1 week from today. So you have this run and next week to grab this skillet while you can. While you're there, pick up a Corporals Corner skillet bag and patch. The bag will accommodate a full-size big boy skillet, meaning the handle is still attached, a 6x12 grill, and a full-size spatula. Go to my website, corporalscorner.com. That link is located in my video description box. Once again, we have 100 dropping right now. Now, one true test that you can do right off the bat is if you have any type of fireplace or wood-burning stove in your home, simply go ahead and light that bad boy and allow that room to fill up with heat. Once your fireplace or wood-burning stove is lit, simply sit back on your couch, which is roughly 8 to 10 feet away, and if you can feel any type of heat or warmth on your face, on your skin, in the surrounding areas, on your couch itself, then you know for a fact that you're trapping heat in that room. Now, let's take that a step further. Can you heat a shelter from the exterior from using the warmth from the fire? Yes, you can. At this point, common sense should start taking over. And you're going to notice that the closer you get to that fire, the warmer you're going to feel. Now take 1 or 2 more steps, and you're going to notice your clothing is going to start feeling warm or warmer than your skin. And at some point, the clothing is going to actually be uncomfortable against your skin. Now, take 3 steps back or 4 steps back, and you're going to start cooling down. This same principle you see me apply to my shelters out in the woods. Simplicity at its best. The closer you go to a fire, the warmer you're going to be. The further away, the colder you're going to be. The larger the fire, the more heat. The smaller the fire, less heat. Simplicity at its best. Let's go ahead and take that theory and apply it to the woods. Instead of a house, we want a tarp shelter. The trapped heat is going to be the heat being produced from our body. Now let's take that fireplace, remove that, and make that a fire pit or a campfire. Let's take the heat from that campfire and warm the exterior of that shelter, just like we warm the exterior of our clothing, and then warm the air pocket inside that shelter, just like you were warming your front room. So I'm going to go ahead and utilize the same configuration from last week. If you haven't seen that video, here's the thumbnail, go back and check it out. And it shows step by step how to set this thing up. I'm just going to go ahead and run through the motions and get it done. If you want a tutorial, please check out that video. I don't know if you guys can hear that or not, but it's starting to rain a little bit, so I want to go ahead and get this done. Once again, the beauty of these metal stakes, they can go right inside these grommets, no problem. in, so we may have to adjust this pole. But I want to try and get this as low to the ground as possible and still be able to stake it out. So you can actually adjust it later on. I want to get this as far as I can towards the back there. It might actually work. Look at that. Nice. It's a good thing we're doing this now, and to be honest, I actually knew it was going to rain. That's the other reason why I wanted this invisible shelter. You can go ahead and tuck this under if you choose to. If not, just leave it. I always tuck them in. Makes it look better. Some think the rain is going to go up underneath into the shelter, but water can't go underneath something, cling to a surface, and go upward and downward and then drip. It's all going to drip off right here at the base no matter what. I'm going to place the loop, just like the previous week, through that grommet, then through itself. Now we got a tie-out point that we can wrap on over to here and form the front of our door. I'll hurry up and get done with this because it's raining. So then our infamous Marlin spike hitch, make a loop, lay it down on top of itself. There's that pocket, place it through, and then pull it tight. And then now we can stake it out. Something to get off the ground. Keep in mind, once again, the lower you make the shelter, the lower your door is going to be. And that's good. Why? Because heat rises. And we're going to use that campfire heat to actually warm the exterior of this, warm that air pocket inside there. It's going to drift right over top of me all night. Just sitting inside here, I'm blocking the wind almost 100%. Yes, we have that small opening with that door right there. However, all the heat coming off my body, I can actually feel it already right here. Like I said, my intent was to have this create a greenhouse effect. And in a way, it still is. We want a small opening anyways. Truth be told, because why? Condensation. What's occurring on the outside of this is the raindrops are coming off. I don't want that on the inside of this shelter. Using the heat from that fire, it will actually combat some of that as well and make it to where it's warm enough to where it shouldn't condense. But I'm liking this. Shelter's up, rain is slowed down for now. Let's go ahead and walk through here and find a large log. I want to cut a log cabin notch out of it and then split some wood and stack it for tonight. I want that temperature as low as possible. Then I want to get a measurement for the outside air, measurement inside that shelter, and then light that fire and see the temperature difference. This is going to prove beyond a shadow of a doubt that heat from a fire will transfer to the shelter, heat the exterior of the shelter, warm the exterior of the shelter, thus warming the air inside the shelter. This is actually perfect right here. It's directly behind my shelter. All I'm going to do is find a relatively flat area. Nothing too crazy, probably about right here would be fine. And we're gonna make one line here, and then we'll move over a good probably 8 inches or so, and then make another line. And then all we're gonna do here is we're just gonna cut down into it a good probably inch on both sides, and then pop that chunk out and create a flat surface to place a log. That way we can chop it. And now let's do 1 or 2 in between. Nice ants right there. Perfect. So here's your answer to sleeping under the stars and not worrying about getting wet. One thing though, it looks, freaky as hell because it looks like there's smog or fog, real thick fog, or like a fire somewhere because of this texture. I wanted something as clear as possible, and this is all I could find, but is what it is. So here's what we're talking about right here. See how that looks? Like there's fog or smog or something. You can see, but it's just really nasty. Like a horror movie. We talked about it off and on for several years, and now we have a phone app. Currently, it's only available for Apple users. Yes, I know. Right now, I have a ticket in with the guys that actually created my app. They're going to convert it to an Android as well. It's one step at a time. And everything costs money. And I'm the one footing the bill. I pay an annual fee, so you don't have to. The app is free. Now, in this day and age, there's no reason why you shouldn't be getting notified about gear drops or YouTube videos. You say, well, YouTube's not telling me. Well, YouTube's not going to tell you. They tell 1% and they claim they tell everybody. Take YouTube out of the equation. I have 2 separate Facebook accounts I've had for 15 years. I have a Instagram page that I've been posting on there 3 times a week. I have an email list on my website that's free. And now we have an app, so, which is also free. If you're not getting notified, follow me on Instagram, follow me on Facebook, get on my free email list, press the like and subscribe button on YouTube, and now download the app. That link will be in my video description box. You're going to go down there, it's going to say YouTube notification app, or it's going to say gear app, or it's going to say iPhone app. One of those 3. Click it, download the app. Once we have Android, you'll get a notification either on Instagram or Facebook or all of the above. And if you have an Android phone, you can download that one. So currently, just go to my description box, click on it, get her done. Never miss another YouTube notification or gear drop again. Once again, simplicity at its best. I give you Corporals Corner MRE Quesadilla. Excellent. Catch you all in a few. So what you have right here is the very top of the shelter. The fire's 1 foot away. We have an outside thermometer. I'll show you that here in a minute. It's about 1 foot from that fire. It's 117. So 1 full step from the fire is where I'm at right now. And the very top of this shelter is reading 88 degrees Fahrenheit. So there's definitely heat transfer from out there into here. I can actually feel this tarp, and it's warmed to the touch. Just like we talked about earlier about your pants being warmed to the touch as you stand next to your wood burning stove or fireplace. The exact same thing's happening that happens inside your home is happening right here. So 1 hour into this, the fire's died down and it's 80 degrees. So the temperature is dropping, but it's dropping in correlation to the size of the fire. So let's go ahead and talk about all that. Now, at the very beginning of this video, we talked about the hypothetical situation of going and lighting your fireplace or wood burning stove, and then sitting back on your couch, 8 to 10 feet away, and actually feeling that heat above you, around you, and on your skin and face, right? We're heating that room up. We stripped away the house and said, let's put a shelter there instead. We built a shelter. Now, we established that once you stand up from that couch and take several steps towards that fireplace or wood burning stove, the warmer you're going to feel. Take a few more steps closer towards it, your clothing is going to start getting hot. A couple more steps, it's going to get so hot to where you can actually feel that heat burning your skin because your clothes are superheated. The same thing is taking place with the shelter. The closer I put my shelter to the fire, the warmer it's going to be. That heat is going to hit the shelter. I can feel this right here. This is warm right here. It's warm to the touch. Back here, not so much. Right here, it's warm. So the closer I have my shelter, the warmer that material is going to be. But then we have a risk of melting it. So finding that happy medium, which is usually about 1 full step away, you can heat the exterior of a shelter, heat the trapped air inside that shelter, heat the air that's being produced from my body from wearing multiple layers, having a blanket on top of me as well, having multiple people inside here. And as you just saw at the peak, at the top part of this shelter, at the hottest, it was like 88 degrees. Even with it burned down like it is right now, it's still 80 degrees in here. I'm in a t-shirt. So here's what I'm trying to say. Keep it simple, stupid, or KISS. Usually the simplest answer is the correct one. You can go out there, you can wheel and deal, you can look up a bunch of math equations 10 minutes before you go out to the woods, or simply understand that the closer you get to a fire, the warmer you're going to be. The further away from that fire you are, the colder you're going to be. The larger your fire is, the more heat's produced. The smaller your fire is, the less heat that's produced. Find that happy medium, construct a shelter, trap that air, have that heat from the fire go over top of that shelter, warm the air inside of that shelter, and keep you nice and comfy and toasty all night. Simplicity at its best. So the whole point of this video was not necessarily an overnight. It was to prove 100% that heat from a fire does transfer onto a shelter, pass through that shelter, heat the air inside the shelter, and combining that with the proper clothing, a layering system, blanket, whether it be synthetic or wool, you're going to produce body heat in there. One or two people, combination of all of that, and you'll be perfectly comfortable all night. Like I've established years and years back and reinforced it over the past several weeks. I'm a firm believer in if you're going to carry the gear, you use the gear. I'm not going to lay out there in some windy hilltop getting just destroyed by the wind and elements and suffer through a cold night when I can light a fire, make a tarp tent shelter, trap all that air, and eliminate the convective breezes while heating the air inside the shelter. The whole point of training, or getting training, is to use that training. And that's what I do week after week after week, and I show you that you can do the exact same thing. Don't forget about the 100 big boy hybrid skillets that are in stock as we speak. We have one more week, so one more week from today, we're gonna go ahead and discontinue that model and make room for something else. I'm gonna address that really quick here. People are asking, well, if they're so popular, why are you gonna discontinue them? Think of it like this. You can model your business after a mom and pop shop and do what most of them do. They'll get one or two items, ride that wave until it basically crashes and it's over, and then they have nothing. Or what you can do is try to model your business after the giants, companies that have been around for 50 to 100 plus years. What do? Let's pick a car company, Chevy, Ford, Toyota, etc. Do they have the same model available for 20 years? No, they don't. If that was the case, every single person and their mom would be driving a Model T, right? And over the years, everything just progresses and gets better. Different options are available, different body style, things like that. Then what do? At some point in the future, McDonald's, for example, brings back old menu items. They drop them and make a ton of cash, and they're just as popular, you know. Another classic example, Hugh Jackman, Wolverine. He's done, I'm done with that character. Done for 5 years, comes right back into it, even more popular. I would rather retire a skillet model or design at its peak so I can bring it back at a later date, revamped and even better. That's my business model, that's my plan, and that's what I've been doing, and that's what I'm going to continue to do. Go ahead and get out of here. With that, all the gear in my videos can be found in one location, my website, corporalscorner.com. Now please do me that favor, hit that like and subscribe button, then ring that notification bell. Once you ring that bell, please select all notifications. As always, thank you for your comments, views, and support. Thanks for watching. Get out in the field, have some fun. I'm going to catch you next time.